Well, it's a real joy to be here with Patrick Dougherty, who does this kind of beautiful artwork behind us. And, you know, I think the first question, Patrick, is what was the start of this in your mind? What made you decide this is what I want to do?
Well, of course, that's a big question if you ask why I started working with sticks. And this particular piece has tried to be welded to this site. You know, I kind of feel like that we all have a bit of a hunter and gatherer in us, a little bit of a shadow life of our ancestors. And so it's easy for people to use sticks, and thus it was easy for me to
Just
start
to
working
turn
with
it into
them
this stuff.
and start, yeah, you start small and then work into bigger and more ambitious pieces.
Well, you know, I think the interesting thing is you have done this, it seems to me, like when I look at your website, really all over the world.
I've been very lucky with lots of opportunities.
And do you use different, like if you're in a region that doesn't have a lot of willow, do you use different types of plants? Because there's a lot of willow in this one.
This one is a number of varieties of willow. We were able to use the basket makers who live and work in this area and how they had let their gardens escape, and so it was just a little bit too big for basket willow, so we were able to go and help them out and help ourselves.
Yeah, because that would be some very large baskets if they made them out of that stuff.
That's exactly right.
So when you think of a plan, and does the plan come to you after you see the site, or do you have like a multitude of different visions in your mind before you see sites and then you work them in?
Yeah, part of it is that I try to integrate something into the site. The scale is a really important thing.
Sure.
I just finished in Maui, and where we use strawberry guava, which is a different kind of plant, and some eucalyptus. But trying to fit, it was a bigger lawn situation, trying to fit something, had a big Norfolk pine in the middle, so I had to fit to that tree. In this case, I have this long, thin park, and I wanted something that would intrude into the park and bring people from the sidewalk at the other end all the way down through it.
Because you can walk through this. I mean, it's open all the way through.
It's a bit like a lineup.
Yeah.
In my mind, it was a bit like people waiting for graduation. Why I had no thought about that, but these kind of personages and flowing, they have kind of flowing robes and a hat of some sort on their head, and so they stand for a lineup of some sort.
And stepping into a future life.
Yeah, and peeking out of line around each other.
Well, one of the things that I found really interesting in researching the work you do is this wasn't just built by you. You have a lot of help, and at this location there was like volunteers that came in and you opened it up to the public. Is that something you generally do?
Generally, it's a secondary gain to my work. It turns out that while building sculpture, you can actually build community a bit.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be the purpose of my work. My work is to get these sculptures built.
Sure.
But it's been great that people from this community have been willing to come down and help me out. And the way we apportion the work, it's easy for people to comprehend what they need to do, and so it goes very well.
Now, you have written a book on this kind of stuff. What's the name of that book?
Stickwork,
which makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm really happy with it as well.
Yeah, and it's is it just informative, or does it have a lot of pictures about what you've done in it?
It's got lots of pictures. It features 36 different sculptures and has lots of stories and tales that are connected with each of those installations.
Now, when you're going to Washington, I hear next.
Washington and St. Louis. We're having students from their College Art and Design mainly help, but probably have a few community people as well.
And you know, as I look at it, it certainly evoked something. The first time I saw it, it evoked something in me, a feeling, some kind of thing that I wasn't able to really articulate. Is that part of what you hope to happen when people see it?
Well, I think a good sculpture is something that causes lots of personal associations, that people tell me about bird nests they've seen, or they might talk about the childhood play or the bush that they made a fort under when they were little, or some indigenous tribe that they have been following on the internet or on National Geographic.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways of looking at it, and sometimes it's first love and and a time that you spend in the woods that you particularly like, a camping trip or so. So
it's really true. It evokes all of those things.
It brings out a sense of the natural world and the wonder of it.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you have the chance to get out here to OSU and take a look at this sculpture, it really is worth your time. And this isn't something that's going to go away in a week or two. How long do they usually stay up?
Well, you get 1 year and one pretty good year. So you get about 2 years out of the pieces, and I think people will really come and enjoy them.
Yeah. And you really should. It'll delight you to see it. And for more information on Patrick's work, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to his website. Patrick, really a joy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.